Hi, welcome back to the World's Worst Teachers. We are now on the chapter Miss Seethe's Detention Rampage. And King Flamingo, he wore glasses to match Miss Spick, and now he's got a mask on to look angry for Miss Seethe. It reminds me of that bit in Toy Story 2 when Mrs. Potato Head says, "I'm packing you an extra pair of shoes and your angry eyes," just in case. Okay, let's get started. Miss Seethe's Detention Rampage. Some teachers are permanently annoyed. Others are always cross. There are some who spend their whole day fuming. However, Miss Seethe was never not furious. There was a very good reason for this, and for once, it wasn't the fault of the children. At Ryle High School, Miss Seethe had been the deputy head for as long as anyone could remember. For years and years, she'd been living in the shadow of someone who had the top job. Someone who would never retire. Someone who'd been headmistress for very nearly 50 years. 5 decades, half a century. It was unheard of to be in the job for so long. At some schools, a head teacher might last only 5 minutes. Hell's Bells School for Horrible Boys. More of that infamous school later on in the book. As our tale begins, the 99-year-old Miss Stint was just days away from celebrating her golden anniversary as headmistress of Ryle High. This made Seethe seethe. As deputy head, she was just under Miss Stint. Any deputy head dreams of one day becoming the head teacher. Number 1, top dog, the big cheese, numero uno, our glorious leader. And then there's different crowns that you can wear at the different positions. But not for nearly 50 years. That's how long Miss Seethe had been waiting to seize the crown. Waiting and waiting and waiting. Then waiting some more. Every day she cursed the ground Miss Stint rolled on. "One day," she would incant to herself as she looked around the school, "one day this will be mine! Mine! Mine!" The fury was written all over her face. Over time, her eyes had narrowed to become 2 inky black dots. Her mouth had curled into a permanent grimace. Her ears had begun to glow as red as the fires of hell. Her forehead had become as lined as an exercise book. I don't know how to... And her nostrils had flared so much you could stuff a sausage roll up each one. Do not attempt it. It would only make Miss Seethe even more furious, and she is already really, really, really furious. Miss Seethe's face was permanently frozen in fury. She woke up in the morning like that and went to bed at night like that. Even when she was experiencing something pleasurable, like sucking one of her favourite boiled sweets, humbugs of course, she looked as if she was sucking on a wasp. Humbug, wasp, same face. Miss Seethe had been waiting for so long that she'd grown very, very old. Not as old as Miss Stint. No one was as old as Miss Stint. The deputy head was 88 and walked with a stick. The advantage of this was that it doubled up as a weapon. It was perfect for prodding and poking children. Prod. Ouch! Poke. Ah! Proke. Ah! When she was particularly enraged, she would swing the stick over her head like a propeller. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Most days, Miss Seethe stalked the corridors of Ryle High looking for anyone on whom she could vent her fury. Her favourite thing in the world was to give out detentions. A detention is a punishment where you have to stay behind after school. It might be an hour, or 2 hours, or even more. I was so badly behaved as a child that I'm still in detention, and I left school in 1989. Absolutely anything you did could get you into trouble with her. Miss Seethe was known to dish out detentions for the most spurious of reasons. That means the most random reasons. Sneezing in class. Tissue! "That sneeze was so loud it could have made me deaf, child! Detention!" she would yell as she whacked her stick down on the cowering child's desk. Having a spot on the end of your nose. "That spot is an eyesore! You have ruined the appearance of the entire school! Detention!" she'd spit, prodding the child's nose with her stick. Ouch! Humming while sitting on the toilet. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Seethe would strike the cubicle door with her stick. Thwack! Before shouting, "You shall poo in peace! Detention!" Having your birthday on a school day. "Happy birthday, child!" "Oh, thank you so much, much, Miss Seethe. Not at all, and I have a present for you. Wow, thank you. My present for you is a detention. I should have known. Double detention. Wearing a squeaky trainer on sports day. Squeak, squeak, squeak. That one squeaky shoe is confiscated. But miss, then I'll have to run the race wearing only one shoe. Perfect. You can limp all the way to your detention. Having an egg sandwich in your lunchbox. You have stunk out the entire school, the entire town, the entire country, the entire continent, the entire planet, the entire solar system, the entire universe. I'm not sure they can smell my egg sandwich on Mars, miss. Detention! Walking too fast in the corridor. Slow down, you reckless blunderer, she would say as she blocked their path with her stick, slamming it down in front of them. Whoosh! Thunk! But miss, please, I'm late for my exam. You will miss that as you will be in detention. Walking too slowly in the corridor. Speed up, you slovenly clod! And she'd poke them in the back with her stick. Poke. Ouch, but miss, I've broken my leg. A pathetic excuse. Detention! Carrying an offensive banana. Just happened to have one right here. That banana could easily have an eye out. Detention! Even having what Miss Seethe considered to be a stupid name. Yes, Mark does count as a stupid name. I've never heard of one stupider. But miss, I can't help it. That's the name my mum and dad gave me. Double detention. Miss, triple detention. I won't say another thing. Quadruple detention. That's not fair. Quintuple detention. I think it's quintuple, miss. Quintuple detention. And for correcting me, you now have a sextuple detention. Offenders would all have to stay after school in Miss Seethe's classroom for about an hour or 2 or 3, or sometimes even until dawn. It depended on whether you got her on a bad day or a very, very, very bad day. As a punishment, Seethe would set lines which the wrongdoers would have to write out hundreds or thousands of times. I'm sorry for blinking, it will never happen again. I must blow my nose more quietly in future. I am very sorry I have one ear slightly larger than the other. I deeply regret stinking of cheese and onion crisps. I will not drop a biscuit crumb on the dining hall floor ever again. I must not ever, ever, ever smile on school premises. I come to school to be miserable. I sincerely apologise for being ginger. I will not do it again. I am deeply ashamed I was 1 second late for school. I will never again sing the school hymn slightly out of time. I promise to comb my hair in the opposite direction in the future. However, on one particular afternoon, Miss Seethe was not able to give one measly detention. That is because a grand tea party was to be held in the school hall and every single pupil was invited. All 1,000 of them. Of course, all the teachers, dinner ladies and caretakers were there too. The party was in honour of Miss Stint and her 50 glorious years as headmistress of Ryle High. Unlike Miss Seethe, who was hated, Miss Stint was loved by everyone. She was like everyone's favourite grandmother, or great-grandmother, or great-great-grandmother. Miss Stint was a lovely old dear and the whole school wanted the party to be really special. Everyone had brought in something. There were cakes and jellies and pies and sandwiches galore. As you might expect from a tea party, there were cups of tea galore too. The only problem was, there was no Miss Stint. The headmistress was late for her own party. Extremely late. Miss Stint had all the urgency of a tortoise. The 99-year-old was woken up in her office. She generally slept for most of the day, by her most trusted ally, the school secretary, Miss Epoch. Miss Epoch was a mere slip of a girl at just 98. The elderly secretary trundled her boss down the long corridors in her wheelchair, stopping off at the toilet 17 times on the way. When Miss Stint had finally entered the hall, it was getting late and the old dear had nodded off again. However, as soon as she rolled into the room and was met with a loud chorus of "Hooray!" she woke up again. Miss Epoch then steered the headmistress onto the stage for her to make her golden Jubilee speech. "I name this ship," began Miss Stint in her sing-song voice. No, hissed the secretary. There they are, Miss Epoch and Miss Stint. "I do declare this library open." No. I thank you all for coming to celebrate my bronze, no, silver, no, golden, yes, my golden jubilee as headmistress of school. Teachers, pupils, dinner ladies, caretaker, gardener, and everyone else present too. I have not the faintest idea who you are. Welcome! Everyone cheered. Hurrah! Everyone except Miss Seethe, of course. The deputy head was loitering behind a trifle and slowly turning purple with rage. Believe it or not, continued Miss Stint, I am now 99 years old, nearly halfway through my life. Halfway? Barked Seethe. And I have been reflecting upon things as you might at such a remarkable landmark moment. Oh, get on with it, snarled the deputy, stamping her walking stick on the floor. Thud. Should I continue as headmistress of Ryle High? Miss Seethe's ears pricked up. Or is it time for me to move on to pastures new? Well, I feel today is the perfect day to make the announcement. The deputy head began to do something she hadn't done in a very, very, very long time. Smile. Her furious face became, well, happy. This was the moment for which Miss Seethe had waited the best part of half a century. The headmistress was about to announce her retirement. And as deputy head, the crown would be passed to her. Finally, she would be top dog at Ryle High. And there she is smiling. She looks even more creepy when she's smiling than when she's angry. But before Miss Stint could make the announcement, the old dear nodded off mid-sentence. Her secretary, or rather nurse, Miss Epoch, stepped in. She woke Miss Stint up, as she always did, by gently slapping her boss around the face. Slap, slap, slap. Miss Stint woke up with a start. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Epoch. I don't know what I'd do without you. It's my great pleasure, headmistress, replied the secretary. Now, where was I? The announcement, bellowed Miss Seethe. Oh, yes, thank you, Miss Seethe, my trusted deputy and closest friend. Seethe nodded her head but said nothing. All she'd ever felt towards Miss Stint was a deep, dark resentment. Today is the perfect day to make the announcement that... Dum, dum, dum. There wasn't really a dum, dum, dum sound. I just added it to ramp up the tension. This I have done at no extra cost to you, dear reader. We're going to leave it there at the dun, dun, dun. Find out what Miss Stint has decided, whether she's going to stay on or whether Miss Seethe finally gets to seize the school. All right, see you next time.